Hi, gang. It's Mark Gilliard again for AIM Country Music Television, and my guest is Stephen Cade. He's Nashville-based by way of Houston, by way of California, and he writes persistently positive music. Stephen's been considered for 9 Grammy nominations. 9. He won the Josie Music Award for Modern Country Artist of the Year. Stephen's song, What I Really Want to Say, topped the New Country Artist radio chart at #1 for 4 weeks. His What I Really Want to Say CD debuted in the iTunes Top 100 Country chart. The video for What I Really Want to Say aired on GAC, Heartland, and of course, AIM Country Music Television. Stephen is a California Music Hall of Fame inductee. He's a member of the Country Music Association, Academy of Country Music, and Grammy Recording Academy. He's been featured with Blake Shelton, Carrie Underwood, and Darius Rucker. He tours nationally for his Giving Guitars Foundation to benefit shelters and agencies helping homeless families and youth. Stephen's here today to talk about one of his Christmas songs, Still Find Christmas. Let's get him in here right now to talk about what might just be your new favorite Christmas song. Stephen, thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, thank you for having me. Appreciate it, Mark.
You're very welcome. We're glad you're here.
Well, yeah, excited to be here, definitely.
Well, awesome. Well, I'd like for you to give us a little intro to get us up to speed and, tell us where you came from, what you've done, where you're heading.
Sure. Well, I'm a modern country artist based here in Nashville, Tennessee, originally born and raised in Houston, Texas, and lived out in Southern California for a little while, where I was in a pop rock band many years ago, and really started my career out there. And since then, I have really just been working on my solo career and have brought myself and my family out to Nashville to chip away at the big songwriting mountain out here. Just all the great things that can happen for an artist in Music City. Just really making connections and enjoying the ride.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's kind of a normal story for Nashville, but that's definitely the place to be for the country music scene. For
sure.
Yeah. I have a sneaking suspicion that you really enjoy the Christmas music. I looked at Spotify and I found a couple of standards that "Oh Come All You Faithful," "Joy to the World," that they both have these really sweet country arrangements. Seems like the kind of songs that, like, this is the week to add those to your list of things on Spotify. You also have 2 originals. You've got the "Christmas I Grew Up On" and the song we're talking about today, "Still Find Christmas." Why don't you tell us about the writing and recording all of your Christmas music?
Yeah, for sure. I got to write those songs with, he is like the master of Christmas songwriting, and everybody knows him here in Nashville for that. His name is Corey Lee Barker. And so when you want to write a really great original Christmas song, you call up Corey and you say, "I'm ready." And so I got to write that song with Corey and some other friends as well. Those 2 songs. And we, when I sit down and write any song, I really wanted to have a message, an impact, a meaning. I just don't like the real fluffy surface stuff. I really like to dig deeper in terms of, what is Christmas about? We wanted to really dive in and just talk about what is this, why do we even celebrate Christmas? Why is it special? I mean, it's not just about the Christmas trees. It's not about how many ornaments you can buy and the lights you put in front of your house and shopping, the endless shopping that we can spend. All of the money we earned all year long, we'll just spend it at Christmas, right? It's like
what it feels like around my house.
Oh my goodness. So going forward in my artist career, I will always want to point Christmas back to the reason for the season for me as an artist.
This song does a really good job of it too. It does mention, we'll hear it in a second here, lots of places where you talk about if you didn't have this, you'd still find it. If you don't have this, you'd still find it. It's sort of like your adult thing, peeking behind the curtain and you're having to make the magic now yourself. But yeah, this definitely makes you look at it and think, okay, you know what? It still is pretty cool season.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is definitely. And we got to record that song, and the Christmas I Grew Up On, I recorded that song with Ilya Tushinsky at Studio West.
Right. Well, you've had the good fortune to work with some really top musicians and songwriters. It's been a pretty good ride for you, just with the associations you've made.
Absolutely. Yes, I have been fortunate to truly meet some wonderful people, um, people that I still write with. I'm writing, in fact, January, I think I've got like 12 or 13 writes booked at this point. It's going to be pretty, yeah, pretty on fire on January. So
It'll make it a good year.
it is,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
feeling pretty festive. Are you ready to play this video?
Oh, come on, let's go. Let's do
All
it.
right. You're watching Stephen Cade's Christmas song, Still Find Christmas, on AIM Country Music Television.
If you never saw the snow or had no place to hang the mistletoe, would you still find Christmas? No gifts were underneath the tree, no one out there caroling. Would you still find Christmas? It's not the pretty bows and ribbons, it's less taking and more giving. It's not checking off the wishes on your wish list. If you somehow lost the holly, could your heart be filled with jolly? Would you feel like there's something missing? Would you still find Christmas? If Rudolph stayed at home and Santa had no place to go, would you still find Christmas? No gingerbread got baked, would that take your cup of cheer away? Would you still find Christmas? It's not the pretty bows and ribbons, it's less taking and more giving. It's not checking off the wishes on your wish list. If you somehow lost the holly, could your heart be filled with jolly? Or would you feel like there's something missing? Would you still find Christmas? If you look beyond the light, you'll get the answer to the question. It's about that silent night that God came down from heaven. It's not the pretty bows and ribbons, it's less taking and more giving. It's not checking off the wishes on your wish list. You don't need to have the holly to have your heart be filled with jolly. You can hear the voice of God if you just listen. You can still find Christmas. You can still find Christmas. Yeah. You can still find Christmas.
What a great little song. That video is that we just played is a bunch of videos of you going state to state with your Giving Guitars Foundation. You know, you're doing the state to state, shelter to shelter. You're performing, you're donating guitars to the shelters, helping agencies for the homeless, and I guess people in trouble in general. But tell us a little bit about this, because I think when they watch this video again, they're going to have a little bit more of a connection with, okay, this is actually something he's doing. This is not just a performance video. This is part of the work you're putting out into the world right now. How did you get started with this thing?
Great question. So back in July of last year, I met a gentleman by the name of Brent Yates, and he's a philanthropist. He's an author. His book actually just went to #1 on the Wall Street Journal list. And so he is a force in his own right in terms of just being a force for good. He's taken the resources that he has, which is, he's done really well financially, and he's really giving back in a very unique way. And he asked me, he said, listen, I'm about, helping people to help other people. And I said, I love that. And he goes, why don't you pray into seeing what, God would have you do with your talents to help other people. So my wife, Kelly, thought about this idea called giving guitars, and we let Brent know about it. And in October of last year, we went to our first shelter, which was in Austin, Texas. It was called the Rathgaber Center. I'll never forget. It was a homeless shelter for families. And that was our first shelter we visited and donated a guitar. I toured the facility. I got to meet the staff. We met the board of directors, of course, all the residents, and I performed songs for them. And since then, I have done that now 60 times across 14 states. I donated over 100 guitars, and really have impacted thousands of residents in at-risk youth centers, foster homes, and homeless family shelters. Yeah, we just finished up. I just did a show for Matthew 25 at the Frist Museum, and I donated a guitar to Matthew 25, and we were just on the news for Fox 17. Recently, I got a write-up in World Magazine for it. So it's like I'm able to use my music as not just for leisure and entertainment, because music is great for leisure and entertainment. Let's face it, there are close to 500,000 people living below the poverty line. There's hundreds of thousands of people on the streets in America. And for foster homes, there are even more staggering statistics. For instance, in the state of Georgia, there are kids sleeping in DHS offices because they don't have families to go to. So they're sleeping in office buildings. That's in Georgia. Kentucky has a big problem, but every state has a big problem. It's just awful. So the way I can kind of contribute in my own way is to use music as a therapy, because music has been proven as a modality for treatment. And so a lot of these people are stressed, they're distressed, they have been displaced, they're abandoned, they're neglected, they're abused. And sometimes the best thing is a guitar in your hand to kind of close out all of the positive, all of the negative distractions, and bring in, something that's more positive. And so we have been really seeing a lot of success, a lot of momentum. And if I can just raise awareness and at the same time really give some therapy and some hope to these families and kids, then that's a win-win. It's a win. And I can use my ability to play guitar and to sing and to write songs and to, I have a platform so I can actually get people excited about this. So giving guitars is a 501c3 now. We just actually qualified as a 501c3, which is crazy. I never thought that I'd start a 501c3, but with Brent's help, it's been tremendous. And so we're really excited about what the future is going to hold in 2023. There's 11,000. I always joke around. I say there's 11,000 shelters in the United States of America. I don't plan to visit them all, but I certainly will do my best to really bring attention to a big need in our country. So I think that for me, we've been on this tour, this movement with my family. I get to take my family. It's been a big learning experience for my son and my daughter and my wife, and so we've all just been experiencing it together.
I think it's awesome that the whole family's in on that. That's one of the cool parts of that I read about. They're all in there poking at it. Well, to me, it's really cool that you're going that face to face in the shelters and you're visiting with people and shaking hands and passing guitars. But probably the bigger thing is that you are shining that light on it. I mean, it's one more awareness. Everybody that has some connection with you says, "Hey, this giving guitars thing is a thing." So it's it's getting that light on something that really needs some light shined on it.
Mm-hmm.
We should also mention the name of Brent's book.
Brent Yates's book is it's called The Gravity of Up. been able to, obviously I've read the book, of course, a couple times through. It's very inspirational. It's it's really just personal growth and motivation, and just all about lifting people up and taking people higher in their attitude and what they're doing in life. And just knowing that, there's hope for everybody, really. Brent's story is tremendous. Maybe you should even do something different and have but this is his book right here. It's called The Gravity of Up. It's kind of hard to see maybe because
it's kind of fading in and out. We'll get a copy of that and listed there so everybody can see it.
Yeah, for sure. It's right there. And now I can do it like that.
There you go. Yeah, that worked. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's The Gravity of Up. And I have, again, I've had the great pleasure of getting to spend time with Brent. He in his own right, if you were to go look him up right now, he's starting a movement of his own. It's just tremendous. Since I've met him, he's just taken off, and he doesn't even play music. He's more of a speaker. He's more of a motivator. That's what he does. And but he's doing it for the right reasons. That's the thing. These days, I just really admire people who take their talents and their gifts and their resources and do it to push back into society something positive and something good. You know what I mean? That's the big deal. So, yeah.
Before I let you get out of here, why don't you tell us where we can find you online, on stage, and where to buy or listen to all this music?
Thank you. So you can find me at StephenCade.com, and from there you can get to every one of my social media pages. I'm on TikTok under Stephen Cade. I'm on Twitter, Stephen Cade Music. I'm on Facebook, Stephen Cade Music. I'm on Instagram, Stephen Cade Country. On Apple Music. Spotify, of course, is a big one. Please follow me and subscribe to my Spotify account and my YouTube page. Really appreciate that as well. And and more importantly, come out to a show. I would love to see you whenever I perform. That would be great. Just send me a message, let me know you're coming, and I'd be looking out for you.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for coming on, Stephen. It's really been good talking to you today.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a great Christmas.
Hey, you too. You have a great one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Cade. So what do you guys think? Is Still Find Christmas going to be your new favorite Christmas song? This has been Mark Gilliatt for AIM Country Music Television. Thank you for watching.
It's not checking off the wishes on your wish list. You don't need to have the holly to have your heart be filled with jolly. You can hear the voice of God if you just listen.